Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manifest Mindset with Affirm Afform Attract. I hope you are doing really well. In this podcast, I'm going to be talking about helping yourself with manifestation, making it come faster, getting more or less what you want. And if you want to find out how, listen on. Manifest Mindset with me. Hello and welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm Afform Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Hello everyone. Now, as I said before, we're going to be talking about trying to get your manifestation levels up and how you can do that. Now, there are many different ways for you to do that, and it all depends on how you are treating yourself and how your mindset is at. But in this episode, I'm going to be talking about complaining less. Now, we all complain. We're complaining a lot. If you just look at society's complaining about each and every little thing. It's actually quite annoying. And if you listen and watch too much of it, you will find yourself also complaining about everything. Now, as fantastic as having podcasts and social media platforms are, it has given people a way to voice their opinions, which is great. But then there's, like everything else, there's always pros and cons to it. And just like people have their right to voice their opinion, unfortunately, we do the same as well. And sometimes it's not always going to work in our favor. Now, you can complain and moan about anything and each and everything as much as you like, but I'm telling you now, it's not really going to do you any favors when it comes to manifesting, because what it is, when you complain, you are operating on a low frequency, low vibration. That's what's happening. After you've moaned, you might feel good for 10 minutes afterwards, but really and truly, you're just getting more and receiving more of this low energy that you have. And when you're in a bad mood or you're snappy and all these things that are quite negative, you're going to sit there and you're going to kind of blame, it's the world, it's because, I haven't got enough money, or I really want to go on holiday and I can't afford to. You put all the reasons why you're feeling like that. And sometimes that could be part of it, but sometimes you've got to check your energy levels. What's your energy level saying? What have you been doing in the last 5 minutes? The last day, week, month? What have you been doing? How has your mind and your mouth been operating? Because I'm telling you now, it will play a big part in your life with your happiness, your well-being, whether or not you become ill or not. When people stress and they're feeling down, it can manifest into different things. And we don't really want that. So, from now on, we're going to start making a conscious effort to complain less and do what we can to make sure that our manifestations come through. Now, I spoke about this before, this little story I'm going to tell you. I'm going to speak about it again because it's very relevant to this podcast. Many moons ago, I made a decision to not complain for a whole week. I think that's when I had my blog and stuff that I was doing. And there's two things that I did. I did not complaining for a week, not at the same time. And another one was to just consciously show gratitude in the stuff around me. But I'll get into that a little bit shortly. Now, what I did, I said, okay, when things... what was happening, I wasn't a big, massive complainer, but every time something went wrong, you dropped your fork, you wanted to do something and something else has happened that's caused you to take more steps for you to get to what you need to do, all that type of stuff, there'll be a little grunt and a moan. Now, depending on your mood of the day and the time and whatever else is going on in your life will determine how much you moan, how strongly you moan, and, whether you just brush it off and you just get on with it. So I decided I'm going to spend a whole week and I'm not going to complain. No matter what happens, I break my favorite cup or, I want to do something and it's not going too smoothly, I'm just not going to complain about it. I'm just going to focus on what needs to be done and get on with it. I done this experiment for a whole week and it was the best week of my life. Like, literally, guys, I'm telling you now, it was just kind of like as though nothing went wrong that week. It felt as though nothing went wrong because I didn't focus on the things that did go wrong. So, I mean, I didn't keep a diary or a note, which I kind of wish I did. But yeah, I just had, when I think about it, it's like it was the absolute best week of my life. If things went wrong, I just got on with it. And after a while, you don't notice when things go wrong because you're so busy focusing on not complaining. I felt better for it. I felt more energized. I did feel happier. And I felt as though my life was going fine. I didn't have any problems with it. I wasn't any richer. I wasn't any more slimmer. I wasn't any more, things happening in my life. But that small section, that energy that I was turning into more of a somber kind of, I wasn't in a negative mood at that time in my life. Like, I wasn't depressed or stressed out or anything like that. You have your ups and downs, but just by not complaining, elevated my energy and it elevated me to the fullest. Now, as life had it, I've never done that experiment again. I keep talking about doing it again and I haven't consciously done it again. I think the negative is kind of winning out. You have my positive moments, your positive days, but the conscious, deliberate not complaining, I haven't done that in a while. And if ever there was a time that I need to do it, it is now, because the last 8 months or so has been a roller coaster ride of events that has just been, give you pause and you just start thinking, I don't know what's going on here. Like, it just feels as though that everything is just out of control. Amidst of that, good stuff has happened in between and stuff, but overall, when you can just see plots of your life just taking a direction that you just feel as a whoa. But at the same time, I've had really good stuff happen in between. But I am going to do a challenge from August 22nd, 2023. I'm going to spend a week and I'm not going to complain, and I'm going to document it. I'm going to document it from today. And by next week, I will let you know how I got on. I'm going to publish this podcast now when I finish it. So then it's a full week rather than publish it on a Sunday. And I'm going to look forward to it. And I hope that you join me on this challenge, no matter where you start when you listen to this podcast, and just leave down, and tell me your experience and how you felt. By doing this exercise, you will feel a shift, you feel happier. And if you're someone who's more on law of attraction side, you will get into your alignment. You will have that feel good and you will feel better. Whether it's a week, if you might need to do a second week, do a second week. Everybody's different, and depending where your mindset is, sometimes it is a battlefield. There's times when you can just do something and it just feels like water off a duck's back. It just feels so easy to do. Maybe a few challenges here and there, but nothing to really kind of, speak of. And then there are some days in our life that no matter how hard we try and be positive and try to do whatever, oh gosh, we struggle. So try and take up this challenge, and even if you catch yourself complaining, don't stress. 2 things can happen. One, you just say, but you know what? Today's the day. I'm not going to complain about it. Even if you just reverse it. Say, no, I'm not going to complain about it. Everything's fine. I'll work it out. I'll get it sorted. Everything will be good, and move on. So don't beat yourself up because you started to complain. Even if you've been complaining for 5 minutes, even if you just got off to your phone, to your friends, and you've complained, just check yourself and say, you know what? It's all good. it's fine, I've got it out, that's what I wanted to do. And just continue, and and jot it down. Day 1 I complained, day 2 didn't complain, whatever it is. If you want to, if you're going to join me on this challenge. Now, the reason why it's good to get into this high energy vibration is that it just makes you feel good about yourself, and it allows you to focus on other things, like the things you actually want to manifest. It might be simple as that. You've got no energy, you're tired, you're fed up, your bedroom is a complete state, and you might just want to manifest for you to be able to tidy your bedroom. Like, don't think that manifestation or trying to affirm things into your reality is just money or a new job or a new house. It could be little things like manifesting to have the right mindset, manifesting to be at peace with yourself. Sometimes even if you start there before you lead on to other things, can help you in the long run, because then you're kind of shifting yourself into place for you to manifest the things that you want. Because what can happen, you can just find yourself trying to manifest for days and weeks and months and nothing's happening, and you might end up going down the road that it doesn't work, or if it does work, it's not working for me. But like I said before, many podcasts ago, that you need to know who you are, find out who you are, and find out what works for you. So anyway, I'll be happy if you join in this challenge with me and let me know how it goes. Now I'm going to move on to another subject. Actually, I was going to talk about something else, but for some reason it's just came upon me to talk about this other thing, gratitude. Now, many moons ago, I was writing a blog piece, and it was basically living in the direct now and being grateful at the present as you are speaking and breathing. And I decided to do this as an experiment, and I just, again, sometimes you just get tired of feeling as though you're not grateful, even though you are. Sometimes you're grateful for your mom, your dad, your children, your house that you live in, but sometimes you're grateful for it, and then 5 seconds it just goes. It's almost like it doesn't mean anything. So what I did, I took it upon myself. I chose my bed. So every time I made my bed, I said, I'm so grateful that I have a bed. I'm so grateful that I get to make my bed. I'm so grateful that I get to have a bed in the house. And what happened was, it was just one thing that I did. It wasn't me being grateful throughout the whole day of everything. I just wanted to choose a specific something, and I chose having a bed to sleep in. And when I did that, again, do you know what? Energy is real, guys. It is so real. I mean, we all know that, but we know it. But when you really, and we've experienced it, but when you truly, truly, truly experience certain things in your life, it just makes a difference. For a whole week, I just determined to be grateful for having that bed. So when I made my bed, it's like I made my bed with more passion. I've made my bed with more empathy. I made my bed with more happiness and gladness and hopefulness and all the positive stuff that I can think of. So every time I lifted up my duvet and shook it out and lay on my bed, and I turned back the tops, if I'm going to turn it back, or put it underneath my pillows, whatever way I'm going to make my bed, and I stopped and I look at it. And by the way, just to know, my room was tidy. My room right now is not tidy. It was tidy. So that made a difference. And I will look at my bed, and they will have this overwhelming sense of gratitude that I had, that I was so lucky. Because when you think about, there's many people in the world that don't have a bed, they don't even have a home, and there's many people in the world that has a bed, has a home, but they don't have a bed, actual bed. They're sleeping on the floor, or they have a mattress, but it's so old, the springs are just digging into them, and they're not really getting a good night's sleep. So showing gratitude not just like, oh, I'm so grateful for my home, I'm so grateful for my parents. Not like that, not some flippant type of thing that's rolling off your tongue. But if you find one thing to be grateful for and you focus on that gratitude, believe me, it will uplift you. Your energy will change. So if you combine every single day, you're going to be grateful for one thing or two things, yeah, but not many, just something that you can really focus on. If you have that energy and you can, feel grateful for 3 or 4 things, I'm actually grateful that I get to do this every day, then do it. So I'm not going to put a limit on you, but I know that sometimes life can be a bit hard. It can be a bit of a struggle, and sometimes just doing a little bit is just something that is all we can muster. And try that out again. Take this on of the challenge alongside the I lost my train of thought, alongside of you not complaining for the week, and let me know how you feel. Guys, I'm going to end this podcast right here. And again, let me know. Get a diary out, get a piece of paper, write it down. Day 1, put a date and just say what you're going to be grateful for. And and anything that goes wrong, just be grateful for it. So anyway, guys, I shall catch you next week. Have an amazing day, week, year.